Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Clown act.
Good morning. Welcome in. National Pumpkin Spice Latte Day. I've never had one. And I've never been to Hobby Lobby. Also in a no mayonnaise zone. I don't know what's next in my life, but damn, there's a lot of excitement. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're brought to you by the amazing steaks, rare to medium rare, just sizzling. Just sizzling there on your plate. Side of bacon wrapped shrimp, KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. Don't forget that Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week is coming up. Restaurant and bars have opted in where they raise money for service industry workers who don't have health insurance but need to cover medical bills. And this is an unbelievable program that we're going to be a part of. And we'll tell you where we're going to be Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week. Award-winning bourbon, but also, American-owned, and which is super cool. Still family-owned, Heaven Hill, which is amazing. Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week coming up in 2 weeks, right? Yeah, 2 weeks, and we'll be out and about at Spring Street Cigars in Jackson and some other spots. Looking forward to that. Spring Street Cigars now open in the building where the Rogue Men's Store is too. Right there in the iconic building on the frontage road, I-55. Check it out. Spring Street Cigars, 3 floors, full bar, beautiful humidor. Mississippi State, LSU, Ole Miss cigars from the Bocock brothers. You can get those, cigars at any Spring Street Cigars, and then also online at bocockbros.com, which is really, really cool. But the M over S cigar, that's been out for about 6 months. And, they had them when we were at the Starkville Derby. They had Ron Polk out there. Spring Street Cigars was one of the tents or vendors. And Ron Polk was out there signing boxes. And, they come in a box, right? Cigars come in a box. And it's a pinstripe box with M over S. It's really nice. Great for, a client or family member, friend that loves and enjoys cigars. And, of course, Ron Polk's a big cigar smoker. He's a Hoya de Monterey guy, I'm pretty sure. And so he was there at the Starkville Derby signing baseballs and boxes of cigars, but they're fabulous cigars. They sent me a box of the Ole Miss. There's 2 different kinds there. The Corojo is good. So I opened those, and whereas the Mississippi State one has the M over S on the band, on the box, and then on the cigar band, the Ole Miss one has the powder blue helmet on the cigar band. And one has a red box, one has a blue box, just depending on the style that you want cigar-wise. And again, the Mississippi State one is a white box, maroon pinstripes, and then they've got a maroon box. We've got some right over there. We should probably take some pictures of those, push them out on social media. But yeah, you can find the Mississippi State and LSU and Ole Miss cigars at Spring Street Cigars, and right there in Jackson where the Rogue Men's Store is. So isn't that awesome? Yeah. All right, we're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. Cole Thompson will join us, host of SEC Unfiltered, Sports Radio 790, Houston, Texas. You got Mississippi State at Texas A&M this weekend, and Cole Thompson is tied in with the Aggies. He'll join us at 8:30 on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. Bundle your auto and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Bundle your auto and home and save. Competitive rates are powered by Farm Bureau Insurance and your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Are we on YouTube? Join us on our YouTube channel right now. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Join us on the YouTube channel now. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Landshark Walter says, here's how I would describe 101%. Okay. 100% is max, but 101 or 110 is when you reach your 100%, but somehow a little something else pushed you over what you would not be able to achieve on your own and don't know where it came from. Just my opinion. I like that. Jackson, what do you think?
If it was in there, and you originally used 100%, but it was still in there, did you ever really truly use the 100%?
That's a good, you just kind of went philosophical there.
I like the 101. I like the 110. I get it. It's nice. I would never drop that line as a coach because you're going to get someone who's going to say, well, what about 111? What about 120%?
All right. I mean, I asked the question, how many people had ever given 101%? Now you just took it to 111%.
I mean,
think about getting to 102, 103, 104.
Yeah.
Are we just bypassing all those?
Well, it's impossible.
Like driving down the interstate and just passing exits?
So it's like
it's that easy?
It's just round.
Okay. All right. This guy says he's listening in Natchez. His name's Sherman, which I appreciate you listening. Pretty town down there. I'm streaming on the Out of Bounds radio app, and he says drizzle pumpkin spice latte over potpourri. Can you do that?
Wait, what now?
He said drizzle it over potpourri.
You eat potpourri?
I think just for the smell, maybe in your house.
Yeah, maybe so.
But I don't know. Rebel Tiger Dog says, I'm listening via radio in Philadelphia, Mississippi, I assume, and force pumpkin spice latte drinkers to buy Saints season tickets. Ooh, I like that. Wow.
A guy named Sliced Bread.
I'm going to the Saints game with sliced bread. Res Dog, I'm listening on 105.9 from Lakeland Drive parking lot. You should lock pumpkin spice latte drinkers in a room with only potato salad and English peas and 24-hour marathon of Feinbaum. Oh, my God. That would be incredible.
Oh.
Really loud, too.
Yeah.
Really, really loud with the Feinbaum going on. People are already talking about who's going to replace Feinbaum. I mean, Rufus from Gordo calls in the Feinbaum. Roscoe, Cletus, Jethro, from outside of Montgomery, right? And Feinbaum, if he runs for U.S. Senate and leaves the Paul Feinbaum show on the SEC network making $2 million a year, and he's going to run as a Republican. I had Paul absolutely pinged as a Democrat, but he's going on this circuit with Will Cain and Clay Travis and so on, and talking about how he voted for Trump, which I never would have believed. They're going to be able to pull that.
Yeah, they will.
I assume Paul is telling the truth. And that the assassination of Charlie Kirk has also
spurred,
ignited maybe his, I don't know, Republican or conservative spirits, so that he wants to run for U.S. Senate now that I guess he thinks Bruce Pearl is out of the way. Who would win that? Because it looks like Bruce is going to sit it out, according to Bruce last week. But who would win that race between Bruce Pearl and Paul Feinbaum? I get how magnetic Bruce Pearl is, but Paul resonates with the Walmart buyer crew in Alabama, and that is the overwhelming majority of the electorate. All right. Oh, wow. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training Facility. Jay Powell, new director of baseball operations at Grit in Flowood, right behind Ergon Mirror Lake. They have monthly memberships, all kinds of beautiful, beautiful places to work out. They've got indoor turf, outdoor turf, indoor batting cages, pitching mounds, the whole thing. Grit, fitness and training facility on Lakeland Drive in Flowood behind Ergon. Jay Powell is the new head of baseball operations. And, you know, Tanner Allen, Jake Mangum, Connor Griffin, all these guys have gone through there and trained. Grit, fitness and training. So it's the old courthouse building that they went in and totally renovated. It's where I used to play racquetball as a kid, which was a ton of fun. And now they've got all these workout rooms, monthly memberships, and indoor turf, outdoor turf, indoor batting cages powered by Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive. Check it out today. Also ask about their baseball program. Jay Powell's World Series champ, All-American at Mississippi State, is the director of baseball ops for Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive behind Ergon. Indoor turf, outdoor turf, and batting cages. Hey, the playoffs. We won on Underdog. Hold on. We were the big winners on Underdog last night. Underdog Fantasy, Underdog app. Bet higher or lower. Okay. And we've been doing this for a while. We were the winners.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another night. Just another night.
Just another night with Underdog.
I mean, it's playoff baseball time.
Shohei Ohtani.
Buckets.
I have watched him play live.
He's a man.
His Braves.
His high or lower yesterday was 1.5 total bases.
Okay.
We jacked that up to 3.5.
Okay.
To get the altar line, you know, we got a little more
juice.
Got a little more juice.
Okay.
And 3 pitches into the game, bomb. So he got 4 total bases on the first at bat.
Nice.
Very next at bat, he got another 4. He just keeps going yard. This is his third at bat.
Shohei Ohtani. Is he your favorite player?
Oh yeah.
You always talk about
Love him.
Even though a lot of times I'm not listening to you.
Love him.
But you'll come in and start talking to me about Shohei.
He's incredible.
Incredible.
It's awesome. Well, I mean, you know, there's a reason, man.
Can I tell you how, when I watched him live, what it's like? Effortless.
Yeah.
Okay. There are very, very few world-class great players that, you know, like, you remember Federer in his prime? It looked effortless.
Yes.
Right? Dude. I mean, Tiger, 2000. Okay? 2001. You know the drill. Watching the day I got to see him play, he was pitching. I was lucky. I got him.
Nice,
I got him pitching and hitting.
Right.
And he threw 7 and a change or 8 and change that day. And it was effortless.
Sheesh.
Speaking of like Jay Powell, who's a pitcher and had tremendous success, it's just unbelievable.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, obviously, the ball just jumps off the bat. It's nuts.
Another guy that I thought the last 20, 25 years that pitched, when he pitched, it was effortless, was in his prime, was Pedro Martinez.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then he threw Don Zimmer to the ground.
He did, man. You
That
can't be
was
scrapping with Zim.
That's my favorite. I love that. This is Zimmer's fault. Get off the field.
You're a Red Sox fan.
And the Yankees are in the playoffs together right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they playing?
Sox took them 1-0.
Ghosts. You know, I'm a Red Sox fan
Should
because
be.
of Boo Ferris and Jonathan Papelbon.
Smart.
Yeah. I mean, I like their uniforms, and I used to get the little ice cream cups at Smith Wills.
Oh, yeah.
And Red Sox was one of the rotations. There were a lot of teams that we liked that weren't in the rotation.
The Helmet Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helmet Cup. I mean, there was a bunch of Kansas City. Milwaukee Brewers, Cincinnati Reds.
They had Cubs, didn't they?
I think those were few and far between.
Really?
Yep.
That's surprising.
Which was weird.
It's very odd.
Don't remember many, if any, Braves. It was the Mets AA at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to have any Braves in
It
there.
was Billy Bean and Dykstra and McDowell and all those guys. But I like the Red Sox because of the tie to Mississippi. And I know the Yankees have a young man from the Jackson metro area, which is awesome. But, which is really awesome and super impressive and amazing. And they've had coaches, Travis Chapman, Mississippi State, and what was it, Tim's from Louisville, Mississippi, have both been through the Yankees organ. Pat McMahon, former Mississippi State coach and pitching coach, who was, I think he was at Old Dominion when I think that was that window where Pat McMahon was at Old Dominion as a head coach while Jay Powell was playing at MSU. But Pat McMahon was the pitching coach and then head coach at Mississippi State. He's been head of international scouting for the New York Yankees, which think about that. I mean, that's your Dominican and all that. Pat McMahon has been head of international scouting for the Yankees forever.
That's got to be an incredible gig.
Well, incredible. Is he paid well? Yes.
Yeah.
Has he built up? I don't. His retirement's got to be insane.
Yeah.
Because since he got fired from Florida after going to the national championship, Jeremy Foley, the rumors were Jeremy Foley got mad at Ron Zook, so he fired Pat McMahon. Anyway, McMahon's been in MLB now for almost 20 years, Jackson.
Yeah.
Think about all the players that they've internationally from Asia and from Central America that the Yankees have tapped into over the last 20 years. Now, you say it is, but he's probably on the road.
Oh, he grinds.
250 days a year. But now he lives in Florida, so, that's just a quick hop to the Dominican.
Cuba, yeah, you can get over there on a boat. About 8 hours.
I think he takes a plane.
I would.
Yeah, I think I'd rather.
Probably safe.
I think I'd rather just hop on a plane rather than boat it.
Yeah,
if you've got a yacht and I'm not pressed for time.
That's it.
Then sure, I'll go out of Miami in your yacht.
Speaking of pressed for time, Jay Cutler's got 4 days in jail.
Why?
He started it yesterday. Dewey.
Oh, he got DUI?
Yeah, but he had, I believe he had a rifle in there and a gun in there, but they dismissed those charges as part of the plea deal.
All right, Jay, let's not drink and drive.
No.
And we all know there's something called Uber.
Yeah.
And
what
Lyft.
are you doing?
And it's not hard, and you actually just punch it on your phone, and it's amazing. They come and pick you up after you've had a few drinks, and they take you home, and everybody's safe.
It's Jay Cutler in Franklin, Tennessee, or the area. He's in Tennessee regardless.
Okay, so he's in Nashville.
You're telling me that man can't get a ride?
Well, he made a ton of money, even after what he had to write to his wife.
Yeah.
And which was half.
Yeah.
So he went from a lot of money to just really, really good money. Right. And but he still got enough to hit that Uber app and get home.
His current net worth is estimated at about $30 million.
Oh, he's fine. Never mind.
Yeah.
Even given her what he did, he's good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We are the Out of Bounds Show. 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Lunch today brought to you by McBee's Bar and Grill on Lake Harbor in Ridgeland. How about a wine burger from McBee's? Ooh. How about those Southwest egg rolls from McBee's Bar and Grill on Lake Harbor in Ridgeland? Fantastic. Cole Thompson coming up next. SEC Unfiltered, straight out of Houston, Texas. Mississippi State at A&M this weekend. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show.
I'll believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And we have a special show today from 10 a.m. to noon with Realtor Locke Ward at one of his listings. 41 Long Cove in North Bay, in Madison, right by MRA, on the water. 41 Long Cove. Realtor Locke Ward, also the leader of Clean Up Jackson. The guy's a machine. He never sleeps. He was up with the chickens this morning like I was because he texted me before 6 a.m. And I was in my kitchen kind of trying to figure out what was going on after taking a shower. And I get a text from Realtor Locke Ward. He's got a listing, 41 Long Cove in North Bay. We'll be there from 10 a.m. to noon. It's an open house today. Come see it. 41 Long Cove in North Bay in Madison. Also, shout out to John Elliott Law Firm. He's a closing attorney. John Elliott Law Firm, also one of the sponsors of the remote today. We'll be live from 10 a.m. to noon. Compliments of Realtor Locke Ward and John Elliott with Elliott Law Firm. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We welcome in Cole Thompson, host of SEC Unfiltered, also Sports Radio 790 Houston, Texas. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. We've got Mississippi State at Texas A&M this weekend, and the Aggies are a big favorite, laying 14.5 points. Cole Thompson, good morning. How you doing?
Morning, guys. Listen, this is going to be a fun game. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the biggest games of college football this week. I know that we got Alabama Vanderbilt. There's a lot of reason to pay attention to what went down last season in Nashville. Could Diego Pavia duplicate success again? But I truly look at what's going on in college position. I see a scenario where you're going to have potentially maybe a massive upset and one that turns us back to Mississippi State being one of the better teams in the SEC.
Are you? All right. Tell me about this Texas A&M team. They beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame, and then they were in an absolute, kind of old style slugfest grudge match last weekend in College Station, where they beat Auburn 16-10, and Auburn was awful on third down. A lot of that was because of A&M. Are you? A&M's done this before, only to disappoint. Are you totally bought in on this Texas A&M team as a team that is legit and can make a run at the SEC championship game and possibly a college football playoff spot, Cole?
I bought it on them that the culture has changed. Last season I brought this up when it came to Mike Elko taking over for Jimbo Fisher. It's like whenever you buy a house that was previously owned by someone, it takes about a year for the remnants of the previous occupant to fully leave the premises, whether it be an old chip on the front patio, the smell because of they liked a certain perfume that would linger in the air, something wrong with the toilet. Those are just things that you as a new homeowner taking over a previous owner's place are going to be things that you have to work on. And that, I think, was really important for Mike Elko to create his own culture. And I think that we've gotten to that point. Last season, they would have found a way to give the game back to Auburn. They would have found a way to not be able to score on the final drive against Notre Dame. And they'd be sitting at 2-2 right now rather than 4-0 for the first time since 2016. The thing is that it wasn't a close game, though, if I'm being completely honest. You look at the numbers, it was 477. It was 422 to 177 in total yards of offense. Texas A&M was 6 of 15 on third down. You already brought this up. 0 of 13 on third down for Auburn. One team gave up 5 sacks. The other team gave up 1 sack. The one area that was really disappointing and cost Texas A&M potentially 13 points and a 30-3 win was the penalties. I mean, they had 2 touchdowns taken off the board because of ineligible men downfield. They had 2 missed field goal opportunities from Randy Bond, and they gave up that big Xavier Atkins interception because of a very bad throw by Marcel Reed on Terry Bussey that hung in the air a little bit too long for Atkins to be at the right place at the right time. So those are some areas to where Texas A&M is going to have to get better at. They're going to have to not have the self-inflicting wounds like they've had in years past. They're going to have to not give up the explosive plays downfield to very talented wide receivers. And they're going to have to be more efficient when it comes to, I think, throwing it on third down. Marcel Reed has been, in my opinion, one of the best kept secrets in the SEC for the last 2 years because the talent's there. Everyone knows what this kid is capable of. But he still makes some very errant errors that can come back to bite you. You know, the Notre Dame game, he was able to have a beautiful pass to Nate Borkature at the end zone right before the time hit at 6 seconds. But he also threw a very, very easy, interceptable ball to Leonard Moore when he was trying to target Mario Craver. And so if Mississippi State wants to be able to win this football game, two things are going to have to happen. Number one, they're going to have to force Texas A&M to run the football. They can run the football. Like, take nothing away from them. They have been a very good running team. They haven't needed to trust its run game just yet. They're going to have to force them to use Lavian Moss, Reuben Owens, Amari Daniels, and then get a couple of key stops. And then I truly think they're going to have to get a takeaway, especially inside of Texas A&M territory. Give Mississippi State's offense a very short field to work with, and then capitalize and walk away with points. One thing that was really prevalent in that matchup against Tennessee last week, and you know this as well as I do, Bo, they capitalized on turnovers with Joey Aguilar. 2 interceptions, 14 total points coming off of it. That's something I think Mississippi State's going to have to utilize to their advantage if they want to beat Texas A&M on the road.
All right. So Cole Thompson joining us on the Out of Bounds show, host of SEC Unfiltered, Sports Radio 790 out of Houston, Texas, A&M hosting Mississippi State. 6:30, SEC Network. A&M's laying 14.5, and the line jumped up after it was released on Sunday. And so is that too many, Cole?
I think it's beyond ridiculous, too many. I hammered the plus 14.5 in favor of Mississippi State. Like, I think of that. We at SEC Unfiltered do our best bets every single week, 5 games that we're looking at, and money lines and over-unders. This is my favorite bet of the weekend because I think it's a disservice to say that Mississippi State's defense has not shown on up to create turnovers. It's a night and day difference from what we saw last season with Coleman Hutzler. And credit where credit's due. Jeff Levy never gave up on Coleman. He never was told, you know, you have to go bring in a new defensive coordinator or change up personnel. They just went out and they brought in new recruits. They brought in new transfer portal pieces. And Hutzler's done an incredible job to begin the season outside of really that Tennessee game where you still forced 2 takeaways and capitalized with 14 points on it to where they're a team that has been playing a lot better on that side of the football. Offensively, Jeff Levy, and I'll be completely honest, Bill, I was not a believer in Jeff Levy when he was hired. I thought they should have gone with John Summerall. I thought the pathway of getting a proven head coach was much more sustainable, a culture builder. He has massively impressed me with not only his talent evaluation, but watching his offense that we saw at Oklahoma be in full swing this year is truly why I think Mississippi State is going to be fighting for 8+ wins. They have a quarterback that fits the mold extremely well. They have 2 running backs that can easily take the tops off of defenses. They complement each other very, very nicely. One physicality, one with finesse, Fluff Boswell and Davin Booth. They have wide receivers that truly are exactly what you need for this veer and shoot vertical passing sets downfield. Brennan Thompson, Anthony Evans. Seydou Traore has been a phenomenal tight end who's only building off his success last season. To say that Texas A&M is a 14-point favorite, I can understand maybe going with an 8-point favorite because you add in those 3 extra points with home field advantage and it being a night game, plus it is going to be a blackout game for Texas A&M. I can get behind that. But a 2-touchdown plus lead after you took Tennessee down to the wire and were a 4th down conversion away from maybe even winning the football game, it shows a little bit of disservice to how more improved Mississippi State has been over the last 18 months.
All right, Cole Thompson, SEC Insider. SEC Unfiltered, Sports Radio 790 out of Houston, Texas. He joins us on the Out of Bounds show. We're talking A&M, 14, almost 2 touchdowns and a field goal here. I mean, if this bad boy goes to 15 points, good grief. And while Cole likes the Aggies, he thinks that the Dogs are going to go out there and give them a run for their money and at least cover. And we'll see what shakes out there. I can't wait to see what I forgot about Mario Craver. A&M stole Mario Craver from Mississippi State, so we got to start the Starkville versus everybody thing again this week. Do you go to any A&M games, my man?
Yeah, every once in a while. I used to cover the team for 5 years for a different company. So I know the people very well out in College Station. I know the people very well outside of the building. What Mike Elko has done in the last, really, I would say 20 months has been impressive, to say the least, on where he was underneath Jimbo Fisher and where the team is now. It's a night and day feel. And the one thing I consistently continue to hear from people who are closer to the organization than I am is you can tell the want is miles different than what it was underneath Jimbo. It no longer feels like we have to play a football game. What's going on right now with Florida, which I find very interesting, is that Billy Napier was such a good culture builder that players seem to always be in the mindset of we get to play football on a Saturday against an SEC opponent. This year, it's more so, we have to play a football game against an SEC opponent, which is why the writing is on the wall out in Gainesville for a new coach to come on in. But for Texas A&M, that was the old mantra underneath Jimbo Fisher. We have to play a football game. We're getting paid money. We've got these brand new NIL deals. We got to go out and play football. Now it's the term is we get to play football. And boy, are we excited to be in front of the 12th man, 102 screaming Ags that are going to back us up and prove that we have a new culture and a new identity to where the college football playoff, it very well is within reach. And a win or a loss in this game, it doesn't really deteriorate my opinion on Texas A&M and who they are as a program. If anything, a win for Mississippi State, I think, would ultimately change the identity of how we view the Bulldogs in the public eye.
All right, Cole Thompson, host SEC Unfiltered. He joins us on ESPN 105.9 The Zone, driven by your next GMC Sierra truck from Fowler GMC, Pearl Brandon, FowlerGMC.com. Have you mentioned covering A&M for 5 years. Did you ever get to party with Johnny Manziel?
No. Well past my time. Johnny and I were in college around the exact same time. I was at the University of Alabama, and I was there sitting probably 4 rows up when he decided to come on into Tuscaloosa and make the pass to himself after missing Ryan Swoop. And at that moment, I think everybody realized this kid is built different. He's going to win the Heisman Trophy. He won 29-24 that Saturday afternoon, and the rest is really history. And that was the signature moment for Texas A&M and the SEC. Oh, I don't know if you know this, but ever since then, Texas A&M has yet to have a double-digit winning season since joining the conference.
Good grief! How does that happen?
It's a promising year. I'm telling you, man, this is where the battered Aggie syndrome continues to come on in. And I know you haven't asked me this yet, but I'll just let you know right now. This is where I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop in the Mike Elko era, because I do have Mississippi State marching on in the Kyle Field and pulling off the upset win. I think that Mississippi State is going to find a way to be able to get this job done just because of the way the team has been able to play. It's something about the culture of where Texas A&M, you're in that. The way I view Texas A&M is the way I view hockey coming to Houston. You know, people say all the time, we got the logo, we got the retro jerseys, we got the season, we got everything out here. And it's like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it because I've heard it for far too long. That's where I'm at with Texas A&M. I'll believe that times have changed for Texas A&M in a series against a team that you view as an inferior opponent and the national media views as an inferior opponent, yet they look better than you for 4 quarters and you find a way to mess it up for yourself. That's me with Texas A&M going into this matchup against Mississippi State, which is why I think the Bulldogs are going to come on in and win 38-34.
I think the series is 7-6 A&M, so I'll piggyback off of what Cole said.
It's 9-9.
9-9. Okay. Oh, that's over. I meant
500.
Maybe I was going since they joined the SEC, but overall,
I think you're right.
Okay. All right. So overall, it's 9-9. I remember they played in the Snow Bowl. I don't remember any other matchups other than when A&M came, joined the league starting in 2012 or whatever it was. And Manziel went to Starkville and boat raced Mississippi State. And then Mullen started to change the series and so on. So, all right. You went to Bama.
I did.
All right. So is Bama your number 1 team and A&M your number 2 team in the SEC, or how does that work?
No, I mean, so Bama, of course, is the school where I got my journalism degree. I got to learn all about the process of being in sports talk radio, and I always have a place in my heart for Alabama, but I don't really play the favoritism game. I never have. Whatever fan base shows us love and support at SEC Unfiltered, I will always make sure that we plan trips to go out and visit that area because of it shows the community of what is college football. I treat every team fair. You know, if I see a team that I feel like is the more dominant roster and feel more confident in winning a football game, I'll speak the truth. You know, I picked against Bama multiple times last season. I'm probably going to pick against Bama at least once or twice this season because there's a reason to not buy into the stock when it comes to Kalen DeBoer. But, you know, you always have that, I think, fandom deep down inside of it is a little bit nice to know that the team that you grew up rooting for and the team that you represent in your college degree is hanging in your office is doing well and making sure that it hasn't deteriorated entirely. It's a nice feeling. But, you know, when Alabama loses, I call it as is. I'm not afraid to go ahead and poke the bear and salute it too hard.
Cole Thompson, SEC insider on the Out of Bounds show, host of SEC Unfiltered. A&M a 14.5-point favorite, laying 14.5 against Mississippi State Saturday night in College Station. Have you ever partied at the Floribama?
Oh, yeah, multiple times. Sad to say that it's been a while. It's been 2017, 2018 last time I went back to that area.
Oh, wow. They've done, like, work there and renovations and stuff.
It's been a hot minute since I've been. It was pre-COVID, I remember that. But there have been multiple nights. One of my buddies actually had his bachelor party right on the border, and that was where we went every single night. So had a couple bushwhackers, definitely had a fond too many memories that I don't remember for some reason. I think you both can understand why, Bo. But, no, it's been Floribama was one of the greatest venues, I would say, in the southeastern region of the United States that I highly recommend to everyone. Like I tell you when you go to a whiteout game at Penn State, like I tell you when you got to go to a night game in Death Valley, make sure you go ahead and have a bushwhacker at sunset at Floribama.
You damn right. I'm with you. Cole Thompson on the Out of Bounds show. Okay, your SEC, I don't need all 16, but I'm just thinking your top 3 to 5 teams right now that the month of September's in the books. Where are you with your SEC power rankings right now?
You know, it's so hard because there's like 8 teams that all could fight for the top 5
I agree.
spots. I think Ole Miss, because of the win at home and the way that they've been able to play without Austin Simmons, not miss a beat with Trinidad Chambliss as their starting quarterback, they're able to run the football efficiently. They've only given up 3 sacks in conference play this year. I think they deserve that number 1 spot. It's very hard for me to argue against it. I know it's challenging to say this because we haven't seen the new quarterback, but the defensive line for Oklahoma, in my opinion, is the best in the country. I think that they have still an elite defense, and they've gotten better with the offensive wide receiver play. I think offensive line underneath Bill Beatonbow has been phenomenal. So even though it is my Hawkins, I trust what I've seen from Brett Venables' squad to put them at number 2. Number 3 is a toss-up right now. I think that you could go with Texas A&M. I will go Alabama simply because of it's a more promising win. You did go into Georgia, a place that had 33 consecutive wins in a row. And once again, the game plan was very similar to what you saw last season where you jumped up to a 10-point lead, you gave it on back, but the play design of Ryan Grubb and the consistency of what you got with Ty Simpson, I think speaks incredible volume about where they are at this point. So I give them a lot of credit there. Number 4, I'll go Texas A&M. They still have a good defense. It's starting to find its identity when it comes to the pass rush. Their offense is night and day different underneath Colin Klein this year. They still can run the football. And Marcel Reed, I think, is one of the quarterbacks that, while you are sitting there with that gunslinger mentality and holding your breath as the ball floats in the air, 90% of the time, most teams don't have a wide receiver tandem of Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion to go ahead and bring that ball back. So I'll give them respect at number 4. And number 5 is a 3-way tie simply because of, I think, that they lose to Alabama and they have a win over one of these other opponents. I'll give it to Georgia. Georgia still has a good defense. Georgia still can run the football efficiently. The offense, I think, is better suited to be ran underneath Gunnar Stockton over the likes of what Carson Beck was doing last year. There's something about that old school country boy style quarterback that just fits Kirby's system extremely well. That's what you got with Stockton versus Beck from a season ago. And again, they have a win on the road in Neyland over Tennessee, a Tennessee team that I would probably have quite literally right behind them because of the head-to-head games. And then I would throw Vanderbilt in that conversation. I think Vanderbilt is the most complete team in the SEC. What they have is they know what their identity is. They can run the football efficiently. They're physical in the trenches. They are gritty. They are forceful. They are willing to go ahead and lay it all down on the line and get in the backfield. And they're led by a quarterback that is an absolute psycho.
He's a dog.
He would break his neck, though, be brought into the locker room, and we would have to see some Jon Snow, Game of Thrones level voodoo magic come on board for him to come back as a zombie and win the football game.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way that Diego Pavia plays. He would rather die on the football field than ever take a loss. And I think that the team has embodied that. I mean, Bo, let's just be real. If somehow they end up marching into Tuscaloosa and getting a win, they're going to be the first team in the SEC that is bowl eligible, and it will be October 4th. Name a time period in your life where Vanderbilt not only was the first team in the SEC bowl eligible, but they were bowl eligible before we got to the Red River Shootout.
Damn. I hadn't thought about that, Cole Thompson. That's a good point. I'm with you on Diego Pavia. Biggest dog in college football. He will throw down in the parking lot and beat you anytime, any day, anywhere, all that. Are A&M, real quick, I got 1 minute. Are A&M fans upset that Johnny Manziel's going to the Vanderbilt-Alabama game when they have a home game?
I don't think that they really care, only because of Johnny will be at almost every other game that there is out there. You know, Diego's come out and said multiple times that the hero he grew up watching, his idol, is Johnny Manziel. And so when you throw that into the conversation and the fact that this is probably Vanderbilt's best shot to go into Alabama in this football game, much like Johnny did in 2012, I think that they can get behind it knowing that he'll be there for basically the South Carolina game. He'll be there for the Florida games. He'll be there for every other game that comes on this season and probably one road trip. Love it.
All right, Cole Thompson, who is a Floribama insider, joined us on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, Bushwhackers and Fireball, all brought to you by SEC Unfiltered and Cole Thompson. Cole, have a great week, my man. Let's do this again soon.
Anytime, Bo. Never tempt me with a good time with Floribama, Bushwhackers, and Fireball. Take care, guys.
All right, bud. Cole Thompson, Houston, Texas, SEC Unfiltered. He joined us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line, Sports Radio 790, Houston, Texas. And he took the dogs. A&M's laying 14.5, which is almost 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And he's taken the dogs, but then he went a step further 15 minutes in and said, I'm calling, not only do I feel like I'm covering, I just thought he thought Mississippi State would lose by, 5 to 10, 11, 12 points.
Sure. No, dog.
And instead he says, hey, dogs are going to pull the upset. So, boom. Colin Klein, by the way, is the A&M offensive coordinator. That should ring a bell, Kansas State, and so on. Hey, 10 a.m. to noon today, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Looking forward to it. We'll be live from 41 Long Cove in North Bay. Realtor Locke Ward, also head of Cleanup Jackson. And joining us will be John Elliott, Elliott Law Firm, closing attorney. John Elliott, Elliott Law Firm will be live from North Bay from 10 a.m. to noon.